So, Matt, I decided I'm going to write a book, and it's going to be about all of the things that I should have done throughout my life.
Really?
So, yeah, I'm going to call it my autobiography.
I like that. I like that.
Good.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Graveyard. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Adam.
And my name's Matt.
Now, pull up a tombstone or settle into your casket and get comfortable because this is Graveyard Tales. All right, everybody, here we are again. Matt, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm all right, man.
Good.
It's hot. I don't blazes.
I know. Here too, man. We finally hit that nearing triple digits. We'll be in triple digits in a day or two.
It's like here. It's like I said today. I said I'm tired of living in the rainforest. I'm like, yeah. My grass grows overnight because of all this rain, and then it gets humid.
Yep.
I mean, it's like I didn't know I had moved to Vietnam. I'm like, golly.
I know.
It's just muggy.
We got out and we've got a garden like every year, and we are having to pull weeds and grass out of that garden like every 2 days because of the rain. We've had a bunch of rain too. And I know in a month I'm going to be complaining at how dry it is because that's just the...
Right.
That's the life cycle of Texas.
We like to about the weather.
Mm-hmm. We get too much rain for my liking in the spring, and then we get too little rain for my liking in the summer, and it just, I'm never happy. We'll put it that way. I'm always grumpy about something. That's why Ashley said when we have grandkids, she's going to try to convince them to call me Grumps instead of Gramps. Perfect. And I'm like, you know what? I like that. I'm fine with that. Yeah,
why not?
Call me Grumps, Grumpy. I don't care. It'll work.
Grunkle Stan. Remember that? Did you ever watch? What was that show? Oh, I had it just a second ago. Gravity Falls. Did you ever watch Gravity Falls? Grunkle Stan.
A little bit. Michael watched it, and so I would catch a lot of it, but not like sit down and pay attention to it, but it was pretty good. But before we get too far off track and before we get into the actual topic of the episode, we'll say go over to patreon.com/graveyardtales and sign up to become a patron. We've got multiple different levels that you can sign up for, and we have a buttload of episodes in our back catalog there that you can go through and check out. If you think, you know what, one episode a week is not enough of hearing those two Southern weirdos talk, we got you covered. Yep. We have more than you can get through in a year.
And I've got a challenge. I got a challenge.
Uh-oh.
For all of the Graveyard. If you are not or have never been a Patreon member, okay? Go look at it, okay? $1 will get you in there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you cannot find something on there that you're like, oh man, I really dig that, then I'll eat my hat. I'm telling you, there is so much, whether you want something that's kind of funny and silly, whether you want a deeper dive into a topic that we've talked about on the show,
right.
If you want something that's just absolutely nothing like Adam and I talk about typically, okay? Something that's informative, interesting, fascinating, whatever, you're going to find it.
Right.
You are going to find it. So, I mean, it's $1. It's cheaper than a cup of coffee.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, and the only reason I'm saying this is I guarantee you will find something that you enjoy in the back catalog we have on Patreon.
I agree.
And above all, it absolutely helps this show right here. And, thank you for everybody that's done it. But I promise, if you've not ever considered it, check it out for $1. I promise you will find something that you enjoy.
Yep. And, the cool thing is, you may be not doing it because you're like, I don't want to have to go to that website to listen to stuff. Well, guess what? You don't have to. Go to that website one time, sign up, and you'll get an RSS feed that you put into your podcatcher, whatever it is, Podcast Addict, iTunes, whatever. And then it will import all of our audio episodes into your podcatcher under our name. And it will allow you to listen on the go like you do our main episodes. But yeah, you get all of that audio bonus episodes for $1. Mm-hmm. If you move up to $5, you can get the audio and video versions. Mm-hmm. And you get the audio and video version of ad-free main episodes.
Yep.
But then if you're like, I still need more.
Yeah.
Move up to $10. You get all of that stuff that the other levels get. Plus, you get the audio and video versions of our side quest episodes. And our side quest are nothing like we do on Graveyard Tales. Those are kind of raunchy. When we first started out, Matt, I remember several comments that were like, why don't y'all cuss? I'm like, is that really what you want me to do, is cuss? I was like, we don't cuss so that we can be listened to by, kids that are our kids' age, stuff like that. We try to keep it PG-13, innuendos and stuff like that. But if you're one of those people that were, why don't you cuss? Well, guess what? We cuss on the side quest episodes. We talk like Matt and I would talk if we're sitting down having a drink.
Right.
We play games. We show videos. We do a whole bunch of crazy stuff on side quest. We recently did a jelly bean trivia game on there. So if you want to watch,
oh God, yes.
If you want to watch Matt and me gag, that's a great episode to check out because we did the Bean Boozled jelly bean challenge with trivia questions. If Matt got the question right, I had to eat one. If he got them wrong, he had to eat one. And I have seen a bunch of comments from people who have already watched the video that they're loving it.
Oh, yeah.
They want us to do it again. And all I can say is you're going to have to wait because I'm still slightly nauseous from the ones that I tried. But also check out in our show notes, we've got links to all of our sponsors. So go check out those links. Use our code, get you a discount on something because Matt and I don't do a sponsor if we don't believe in the product or if we don't think that y'all will like it. We don't just take money. We've turned down sponsors. There's been sponsors that we've talked about and we both went, that would be nice to get the money, but we just can't bring ourselves to do it. So if we talk about it, if we run an ad for it, it's because we believe in that product. So go check out those links, get you something with it. And by checking them out and getting something from those links, you also help out Graveyard Tales because they will come back and keep us going that way.
Exactly.
Ads are integral to the independent podcasters like me and Matt and keeping us going in conjunction with Patreon because there's a lot of expense that is incurred in doing a free show. And you may not think about it. I sure didn't before we started the show, but it's an expensive thing to keep going.
Yeah.
All right. So that's all we got. We don't want to, like Matt said, have you turn off the show. So let's, why don't you tell us, Matt, what are we talking about tonight, brother?
All right. So tonight we are headed to the riverbanks and shadowy ponds of Japan, where they say the air is thick and the scent of moss and mystery fill the air. How about that for some flowery introduction?
Mm-hmm. You worked on that for a week, didn't you?
I did. But beneath the surface, there is a creature in Japanese folklore that is not only feared, but it is revered. And that creature is known as the Kappa. And You may have never heard of this, but I promise if you've spent any time in Japan, or if you have friends or family that has lived in Japan, is from Japan, they know exactly what you're talking about. And I mean, this is, I don't know, it's not a cryptid, it's not a spirit, maybe it's both, I don't know, but we're going to get into it and some of the stories and legends about the Japanese Kappa. It's different. The Japanese look at this stuff so differently than the Western world that these legends are just, they're fantastic. And I think you're going to enjoy learning about the Kappa. I didn't know much about it other than what it looked like.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot doing this one.
Yeah, this is one that I've known about for a while, but there was some things that in doing this research that even me, the cryptid guy, went, seriously?
Yeah,
really?
right.
I didn't know that. So hopefully we can make y'all do that too, with this information and these legends. But as we always say, go check our sources down at the bottom of the show notes. You can find where we found all the information. Like we always say, Matt and I have not been to Japan. We have not fished nor caught a Kappa at all. And I'm probably going to do that, pronounce it wrong because I have been for 10 or 15 years, but at Kappa, we have not fished and caught a Kappa at all.
No.
So we have to get this information from people who have lived around the legends and stuff like that. So go check our sources down at the bottom of the show notes and continue learning if it interests you. Now, the name Kappa is said to mean river child. So that will make sense when we get into talking about it a little more here. But Kappa folklore, they say, dates back to at least the Heian period, so 794 to 1185. But it became really widespread across Japan during the Edo period. So 1603 to 1868.
And here's the thing about the Edo period. It's really like the turning point in Japanese folklore, especially in regards to the Kappa. But there were some major works that came out during the Edo period, like the Tōno Monogatari, which is translated to Legends of Tōno,
right?
Which is a region in Japan, and the Sawaki Suushi's Tonoko Setsu. These works, they not only presented the stories of the Kappa, but they gave such detailed descriptions and illustrations. And
Right.
I'm telling you, you've got to go look at some of these illustrations. I mean, everybody knows the tapestries, that have, a Japanese person in like a, whatever that little, the
Kimono.
sari. Yeah, kimono. And, maybe the braids in the hair and, in the little garden and the pagodas. You ought to see some of these illustrations of the Kappa. They fit right along, but you're like, is he doing that? Well, I won't get ahead of myself.
Yeah.
But
Hey, don't ruin that surprise, Matt. That's a good surprise we got coming up.
But this is, I mean, these are like Beowulf type works.
Right.
Ancient, they are very descriptive, and they have, they're taught and they're studied, and they are key components of these legends.
That's very true. Now, what does a Kappa look like? So if you happen to be in Japan and you see something odd looking, you'll be able to, oh, that's a Kappa. So it's about, they say, the size of a child, and I kind of say maybe a child or a medium-sized goat. When it stands up.
Child or a medium-sized goat.
Yeah, I mean, okay, if you're a country like a lot of us are, you'll understand what a medium-sized goat is. You got small goats, and then you got big-ass goats, and this is a medium goat. So when it stands up, it's about 3 to 4 feet tall. Now, it has scaly skin, and it's kind of greenish or bluish, depending on the artwork and what region it is from. But it has an amphibian's skin. So if you think of kind of a scaly amphibian, then you'll picture what it looks like. On its head.
Yeah.
The head is an interesting thing about the Kappa. It has this bowl-like depression on the top of its head, and they call it a Sara, and it's filled with water, and this water is what gives it its power. So that will come up several times throughout this episode. So just remember that. Top of its head, and if you look at any illustrations of it, it has, usually it's colored a little different than the rest of the face is, but it has a bowl, kind of a flattish bowl in its head, and it's holding water.
And I've seen an illustration of, and there's a statue. I mean, there's statues of these all over. It's got like a Friar Tuck haircut around the bowl.
Yes, it does.
So it's got like some hair or fuzz or something that kind of sticks out under the little depression.
It kind of gives it an old man look.
It does.
It's like my great-grandfather looked the same, except he didn't have the depression. His was round.
Yeah.
So, but he had the same haircut. Now it has like webbed hands and feet, and its fingers on its forearms are clawed. So it looks like it's meant to be in water with the webbed hands and feet. It kind of reminds me of some river turtles, is what it looks like a lot, because it's often depicted with a turtle-esque shell on its back as well.
Yeah. So
it could be confused for a turtle. You might see a Kappa and just think it's a turtle, or vice versa.
It'd be a big turtle.
It would be a big turtle.
Man, I've seen some big turtles.
It'd be a turtle the size of a medium goat.
That's exactly right. I've seen a turtle big enough that a medium goat could have ridden on its back.
Yeah, right.
It's freaky.
Alligator snapping turtles?
Oh, yeah. In the road.
Yes. Yeah. I was in New Orleans not too long after the Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
One of those stupid things was in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
But it was going from one flooded patch to the other flooded patch. If a car had hit that, it would have totaled the car.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how these things get that big.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So I was driving to work one morning. This was probably about 20-something years ago. And it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. And I pull up on this little 2-lane road, and traffic is just stopped both directions. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And so I kind of look out the window because there's people standing there. I thought it was an accident.
Yeah.
And they're standing there, and this humongous turtle is in the road blocking traffic. and I'm like, I called animal control.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and they're like, 7 a.m, animal control's like, animal control. And I'm like, hey, I said, I'm over here on this road, and there's a giant turtle blocking traffic. Okay, man. And I said, no, you don't understand. The woman that's trying to get this turtle off the road could ride on its back. And she goes, oh. It went up under their car, and it pushed up the car.
I actually moved the car. Yeah. Now, Matt, you know I'm a summer person. I love when the weather gets hot. I love being outside in the sun, road trips, beach days. But the thing we got to get real about is sweat. And that's the only downfall, is we sweat. It's hot out there. Going fishing, you're sweating. On the beach, you're sweating. But luckily, we found Undies. Because if you're wearing the wrong underwear, it's horrible sweating. You bat wing, you just get swamp crotch, all sorts of stuff. Undies is not like that. They keep you super cool somehow, moisture wicking, and I know it has been what has saved me on our hikes and our fishing trips from getting swamp crotch.
They've got a style for everyone. MeUndies says they've got a cut for every butt with over 20 different styles in 100 different colors and prints. And I'm telling you, this is unmatched comfort. MeUndies' signature super soft micromodal fabric is breathable, stretchy, and oh so comfy. And that is perfect for all day wear.
Yep.
And check out the Move Me line with Breathe fabric, which has moisture wicking and anti-odor technology, perfect for working out or just keeping you cool when on these super hot days. And if you're not happy with your first pair of undies, MeUndies will take care of you. It's on MeUndies. Right now, Graveyard Tales listeners can score sizzling summer deals like up to 50% off at MeUndies.com/graveyard and enter our promo code GRAVEYARD, GRAVEYARD.
That's right. That's MeUndies.com/graveyard. Use our promo code GRAVEYARD, GRAVEYARD, for up to 50% off. MeUndies, comfort that's made for summer. I saw a few in an apartment I had there in Nashville, but they were in a little creek beside it, and I used to go pick them up and stuff, which was stupid because even small ones could take my finger off. But
this one could have taken your hand.
I believe that. I believe that. I've seen them that big, and it's freaky when they get that big. Now, the face of the Kappa is really weird looking. I mean, doesn't matter what depiction you see of it, it's weird looking. Yeah. Sometimes they draw it with a monkey-like face. So if you look at the eyes and the nose and stuff, it has kind of a monkey look to it. But the mouth on all of them is kind of beak-like.
Yeah.
So it looks more like a turtle mouth. Yeah. Like a snapping turtle mouth.
And a lot of the depictions, the beak is kind of yellow or orange, like a duck. Mm-hmm. But it's pointed like a turtle mouth.
Yeah.
So it almost looks like when Bugs Bunny puts on the Daffy Duck bill, to pretend to be him.
Yeah.
It's duck season. I mean, that's kind of what it looks like. Here's this green monkey turtle looking thing, and it looks like he's wearing like a mask that's a beak.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're like,
it really does.
What the heck is that?
Yep. It's a duck-billed turtle puss. That's what it is.
I'm glad I wasn't drinking water when I said that. I would have fried myself right here.
And it's also said to kind of, when it gets close to you, smell of a foul, fishy type odor, so you can smell them coming. But Kappa are tricksters, and they're known to play jokes and tricks on people, but they have a strong sense of etiquette, which comes to play in a lot of the legends. Now, some of the mischievous and malevolent acts that they have been known for is they will drown humans or animals that will get in their water. So if you get in water that is inhabited by a Kappa, they might drown you.
That's a little bit more than a prank.
Yeah. That's not quite a prank, but some of the pranks are funny. But the surprise for you guys that me and Matt were talking about. Now, there is a mythical ball that in Japanese folklore is believed to contain the soul of the human. Mm-hmm. So the Kappa like to suck that ball out of the human, but that ball is said to reside in the human's anus.
Yeah, you heard us. Anus.
So, Kappa are known to suck anal balls out of humans.
Yep. And some of the story, some of the folklore of the Kappa says that, the Kappa. See, I'm screwing it up.
Yeah, we'll both do it the whole episode.
They say that soul ball,
the butt ball,
the Shrikodama, is a delicacy for the Kappa. But then some legends say that they will take it and offer it as a tribute to the Dragon King of the sea. And now I'm like, I need to go find out about the Dragon King of the sea.
That sounds like another episode we're going to have to do. But the butt ball will come up again, but some of the other tricks that it plays, and these are actually tricks, these are not killing people or sucking their soul ball. They are said to peep under people's kimonos. They will play pranks on people, and one of their favorite things to do is to fart loudly.
Yeah.
So I can just picture a group of people standing around the water, and a Kappa goes, and then everybody starts looking at each other, blaming each other. And that was you. No, that was you. That was you. And the Kappa's just over there laughing.
You think they make jokes in Japan like, that sounded like a turtle fart? You know?
Probably not.
Yeah,
but
it was a Kappa.
Yeah. Man, you fart like a Kappa.
Yeah. Barking spider.
Oh, dude. Yeah. My dad did that one on me all the time. And now I do it to Michael. If we're walking outside and I rip one, he'll look at me and I'll go, barking tree spider.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. I'm like, okay, fine. Squeaky concrete. I don't know what to tell you. It wasn't me. The fact that they do have a highly tuned sense of etiquette kind of comes up occasionally because they're known to be skilled in medicine, especially setting broken bones. But they also, and we'll talk about this again a couple times, they can be tricked into spilling the water from their Sara, and then they will become more helpful and obedient to the human. Etiquette sometimes backfires on you. You think you're being good, following etiquette, and then all of a sudden you lose the water out of your Sara and you have to help these humans. But apparently they will assist farmers as well, and sometimes they'll bring fish to villagers if they have befriended the villager.
Yeah. And
so they'll leave fish on the doorstep of a villager as just kind of a thank you, or hey buddy, here's some food. So they're not all bad, but the majority of the time they're bad unless you spill their head water.
But don't these stories kind of make you think back to stories of like gnomes and brownies and, imps and things like that? Very mischievous, prank, they like to pull pranks, but they can also be very helpful. And if you're kind to them, or if you play along, they can be beneficial.
Right.
I mean, it really does seem like this is either, I would say, because of, the age of Japanese history, that a lot of European tales, they borrow from some of these ancient Japanese legends, especially something like this, where it's not exactly a cryptid. It's got characteristics of a cryptid, but it's also got characteristics of a spirit or the fae. Yep. Exactly.
Yep. And I do tie it in a lot with the water fae. Yeah. Fae that are known to hang around water, because it has a lot of characteristics of that. And like you said, that fae folklore, if we're going to say if you want to say it's all folklore and that they don't exist, then I think a lot of that was borrowed from Japanese legends, stuff like the Kappa and different creatures like that. But it also can make you think, oh, maybe there is something in this world like that, because all cultures speak of similar things like that.
Right.
So unless they were all talking and all borrowed from each other, there might be something to that. Now the Kappa does have some weaknesses, but the main one is its etiquette. Because if the water in the Sara either dries out or gets spilled, the Kappa can become weak or even die. So if you bow at a Kappa, it'll bow back and then it spills its headwater and you have just weakened the Kappa. But you're like, okay, all right, you told me all about this thing. Where do these things live? Well, generally, they inhabit freshwater sources all across Japan. So that can be rivers, lakes, ponds, swamps, or even irrigation canals and rice paddies. So it doesn't have to be a natural freshwater source. If you've got an irrigation canal that's full of water all the time, you could find a Kappa in there. Now, some of the places that they're really well known are the Tōno Iwate Prefecture. That's a small city in the Iwate Prefecture, and it's surrounded by mountains. And when people think of this city, they think of lush rice paddies, forest, and gently rolling hills. So having that many rice paddies, you go, okay, yeah, the Kappa would be there because there's so many. But they've also got the Sarugeishi River that runs through the city. And in that city, they have the Kappabuchi Pool. And that pool is synonymous with the Kappa, with Kappa folklore all across the nation. People know of this pool. And you can even get a Kappa fishing license there and try to lure the Kappa in with one of its favorite foods. I bet you'll never guess this. The cucumber.
The cucumber.
So if you're there at the Kappabuchi Pool, get yourself a Kappa fishing license and some cucumber and go out there and see if you can snag one.
Yeah, and then you can touch it and Kappa feel.
He's been waiting 30 minutes to make that joke.
Reaction was priceless. He's looking at me like, I can't believe you.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I can believe it. That's probably why there was more of that look. I'm like, of course he did. Matt has been waiting for the right time in this episode to throw in that Kappa feel joke. Yep. There's also the I'm going to say the Kappadera temple because I can't pronounce the word, in the Taito ward, and it's near the Asakusa area, which is dedicated to the Kappa, and it supposedly has a mummified Kappa hand in that temple.
Yeah.
Which I want to see. I want to see in person. They've got scroll paintings, and they have a garden that is just completely filled with Kappa statues. They have people that leave offerings of cucumbers that are supposed to appease the Kappa. Another one is the Chikugo region in the Fukuoka Prefecture, and the Chikuga River and Karume region. It's rich in Kappa legends. And some people say that this Chikugo River is the origin of all of the Japanese Kappa. So any Kappa that you find anywhere in Japan, their family lineage dates back to this river, which that's kind of cool to me, to have that distinction there. Now, all of this, you're like, okay, it's said to be bad. It might suck my butt ball. You know, how do I survive if I run into a Kappa? Well, feed it a cucumber.
Yeah, number one.
Number one.
Is that a cucumber in your pocket, or are you just afraid of Kappa?
Yeah, well, both. They say that offering a cucumber to the Kappa, which is their favorite food, may actually win you favor with them and spare you from harm. So it's not guaranteed, but if they like the cucumber, then they might not do you harm. You can also, what I mentioned before, you can outwit it with its etiquette. So if you bow deeply to the Kappa, it kind of is prompted then to bow back. Mm-hmm. So the deeper you bow, the deeper the Kappa will bow, and then it will spill the water from its sara and apparently neutralize its threat. So you're not SOL if you run across a Kappa.
Yeah, exactly.
You have some recourse that you can take.
The Kappa, like I said, these legends have been around forever. And one of the earliest documented references to the Kappa can be found in the Nihon Shoki, which is a classical Japanese historical text. As Adam said, it dates back to 720 CE. But in this story, Mizuki, the water snake, is living in the Kahashima River of the ancient Kibi province, and he poisons unsuspecting travelers, reminding locals to be wary of the water. Now, gradually, signs depicted with Kappa warnings were placed near these dangerous bodies of water in Japanese towns and villages, which is a practice that still continues in the modern day. Mm-hmm. And officials in Japan actually conduct safety inspections, and they post Kappa signs where they believe water-related incidents might occur. So, like here, in an area in Old Hickory Lake where there's been some boating accidents or there's been some drownings, they could come up, and if we were in Japan, the local officials might post a Kappa warning sign.
Yeah, right.
Just as a symbol to say this area is dangerous. Mm-hmm. Which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, using that folklore to kind of grab everybody's attention to go, hey, you got to be careful right here.
Yeah, this area is dangerous.
Yeah.
Whether it be fast-moving water or something like that, because you'll see that here sometimes. You'll see fast-moving water warning.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't look fast, but you get in there and it can sweep you away.
Yeah. And not
Kappa could take you.
Yeah, not every sign will have a picture of a Kappa, but they can be kind of creepy looking. Like there's one that's it's an image of this really creepy grin beneath the water surface.
Oh, geez.
Just below, like a child that's struggling to swim, and that's from the idea of the Kappa.
Yeah.
And it's just a reminder that there may be hidden dangers underneath the water surface. If you like podcasts that have unbelievable, true stories of survival, join Steph and Alex to hear about some incredible people who made it out of unimaginable circumstances against all odds. I'm talking about the Not Today podcast. They have discussed all kinds of stories ranging from true crime, survival, shocking accidents, natural disasters, cults, people stranded out in the wilderness, even animal attacks. If somebody has endured but survived, they cover it.
Right. And man, I was just talking about this a couple weeks ago. This has become a new fascination of mine, is people who have overcome unimaginable odds. And Steph started out as a big fan of true crime, but always found the stories where the person made it out alive to be the most incredible. So she decided to dive deep into those stories specifically, thus Not Today was born. And as Matt and I were talking off mic when I was discussing my crazy obsession with this type of story now, people are extremely resilient. Steph and Alex are constantly amazed when learning about just how far we can push our bodies and our minds and how people will actually react in times of crisis. So their episodes are predominantly factual with bits of personal commentary about the story peppered throughout. So if you like the way Matt and I do a story, you'll like them. Not Today is a weekly show that covers one story per episode, and their episodes are around 40 minutes to an hour. So you can check them out on TikTok if you want to get a taste of their stories, and how they cover them, or over on Instagram for the case photos that they post every week. And you can tune in to Not Today wherever you find your podcast. So wherever you're listening to us right now, go check out the Not Today podcast.
So imagine this. Imagine you're growing up in Japan, and it's summertime. The kids are out playing and you're having fun, and you're right on the edge of a little creek or a slow moving river. And, there's that cool water, and the kids are, what do you do? Kids like, I want to go swimming. I want to go swimming. I want to go. The parents would say, don't go too deep, beware of the Kappa. Just like, in the West, you may say, don't go back there at night because the boogeyman may get you.
Yeah, right.
It's the same kind of thing. And, the kids kind of laughed, but they're not 100% sure.
Mm-hmm.
So they may...
Don't risk it.
Yeah, they may be a little extra careful because they're afraid of the idea that there might be a Kappa in there. So we've talked about this folklore, Adam. Let's share some of these stories. Okay. So one, in the literature that I mentioned at the top of the show, the Tōno Monogatari, one of these stories is a strong man in a village who decided that he was going to challenge this Kappa who had been pulling their horses into the river.
Right. Yeah.
So the Kappa accepts the wrestling match, but when thrown to the ground during the match, the Sarah, the little water bowl on their head, he loses its water. So now he's weak and he's embarrassed. So the Kappa is begging this strong man for his life, and he promises that he will never harm the village again. And so the man made it swear an oath at a nearby shrine. And this particular story has been told so much that it's like saying Mary had a little lamb.
Yeah.
Here. It's like everybody knows this story. And they all kind of view it as something that their own ancestor did. They take pride in that because it saved the village. I mean, you can imagine, horses aren't cheap, and
right.
they're hard to catch and break. And, you got a horse that you can use for, taking care of your farm, taking care of your land or transportation. And you get this dadgum crazy frog, turtle, water bowl we're having, that yanks it into the river and drowns it.
Right.
So you got to do something. So he saved the village by defeating this Kappa, but yet he showed it mercy, but made it swear that it would never harm the village again. There is one that this one's a little weird. It's also from the Tōno, and it tells of a pregnant woman that was assisted by this mysterious figure during childbirth when she went into labor and no one was around. She described the character as a short, green, as being short, green, and having webbed hands. But when the villagers investigated, they found only wet footprints and the faint smell of river moss.
Right.
So later on, after, she'd had the baby, she left offerings at a nearby river, believing that she had been helped by a Kappa acting as a midwife.
Yeah.
which is that's a surprising turn for this creature that's also often considered to be mischievous, a prankster, or even dangerous.
Mm-hmm. But it's known to occasionally not be a jerk. So
yeah.
It was just not being a jerk at that point.
At that time. Well, I mean, in this case, and there are others, where the Kappa notices a human in peril and comes to their aid, almost as if the Kappa says, well, this isn't the time for a prank.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to harm this human. I'm going to help them.
Or it's thinking, look, if this human is going to meet its demise, I want to be the one to do it, not this way. So I'm going to help him this time. And then next time I'm going to get him.
I was thinking this might turn out to be like a Rumpelstiltskin type thing. Like when the baby turned a year old, the Kappa came and said, it's mine now.
Right.
Put a bowl of water on its head and said,
I
come
delivered
on.
it. You know, when it starts growing up, it starts growing a beak mouth, and you're like, wait a minute.
It's like a Japanese Tarzan legend. You know, he becomes an adult and he walks around with this bowl of water on his head, and people are like, what is wrong with this guy?
Yeah. Your kid's weird.
Now, there's a grave marker near Kappabuchi Pond that some say was erected for a Kappa who drowned after being exiled from the pond. One local family tells a story that their great-grandfather found the Kappa injured and tried to save it, but it died anyway. And out of respect, he buried it and left offerings. And that spot became something of a Kappa memorial, and locals say anyone who mocks the grave may suffer mysterious misfortune.
Well, you shouldn't mock any grave, I would imagine.
Kappa or not.
Yeah. Kappa, no Kappa.
Yeah.
Don't be making jokes at a grave.
Yeah. Now, there are some personal encounters. There's not, like I told Adam, there's not a bunch. At least there's not a bunch that I was able to find that weren't in Japanese and I couldn't translate them.
Right.
At least the ones I tried to translate, it didn't make any sense to me at all. So,
sometimes those translation programs don't do too well.
Well, when you're trying to, it's not like, translating from like Spanish or German, when you're trying to translate, Japanese to English, it doesn't always fit. They don't always have a word for this, or they have a word for something else, that we don't have, So you're kind of trying to make it work.
I have a friend in Japan who I met through my last job, and we're Facebook friends. So we see each other's posts. Well, I have to do the translate all the time on his post, and I basically get the gist of what he's saying.
Yeah.
But the things that Facebook translates that to, I'm like, look, I know he didn't say that. I know that's not what he said. And I'm sure it's vice versa. He's going, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Adam's not that dumb. I don't think he wrote this, but it just translates poorly.
Yeah, exactly. Now, so one of these stories is, it's one that was passed down from a friend's grandmother who grew up in a small village in the mountains of Shikoku. Now, she says she remembered as a child writing her name on a cucumber, which was like her favorite summertime treat. Can you imagine your favorite summertime treat being a cucumber?
No, I'm not a big fan of them.
It's not a popsicle or, ice cream or a snow cone. It's a cucumber.
Pickle it. I'm not a big fan of cucumbers.
Yeah, me either. And they're not a fan of me. So I have this hate relationship with cucumbers.
Matt had a bad cucumber accident in college, and ever since he has not liked cucumbers.
Yep, it's terrible. But she took this cucumber, which, like I said, was her favorite, and she threw it into the river as an offering. And her mother told her, if you give the Kappa what it loves, it will leave you alone. So sometimes on foggy mornings, she says she swore she saw ripples in the water as if something or someone had accepted her gift and was, saying, "Hey, I got it. Thanks for the cucumber.
Appreciate it."
That pleco that you've got over there, he'll love a cucumber too.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Maybe it's a Kappa.
It could be. It's about the size of a medium goat at this point.
Yeah.
It's too big.
Yeah. Is it in a tank by itself?
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, it killed everything else. So I had other little fish in there, and then the next day they were gone.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's
if
by
it'll
itself.
fit in its mouth, it'll eat it. If y'all don't know what we're talking about, but Adam's got a giant plecostomus that he's had for freaking ever.
Yeah, about 5 years.
Yeah, and it is. He sent me a picture of it the other day. It is massive.
Over a foot long now.
Yeah. God, it's
Stupid.
unreal.
Stupid fish.
I've never.
Me either. It's the first one. And I think it's because I want to get rid of it that it just keeps growing and living.
Yeah, they do, man.
I'm going to take it to Petco or something.
Yep. So here is a tale that may help Adam with his plecostomus.
Okay.
This is about a young boy named Haru, and he once found himself face to face with a Kappa while he was fishing. Now, the Kappa challenged him to a sumo match.
Uh-oh.
And he remembered his grandmother's advice. So Haru bowed deeply before this creature. Because remember, Kappa are very honorable.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Kappa, bound by its own sense of honor, bowed back. And the water in its head spilled onto the ground. So now weakened, the Kappa begged for mercy. And Haru helped refill the creature's dish. So in gratitude, the Kappa promised to watch over him and his family, ensuring their safety near the river for years to come.
That's cool.
Yeah. So you, like we said, they're pranksters, they're tricksters, and they can even be dangerous, but you can befriend them because they have this deep sense of honor. So a good deed will go rewarded.
Do you think the Kappa, when someone bows to it, do you think it knows?
I'm fixing to lose my water.
And it's like, oh, you son of a, but I got to do this. I can't not do this. And, like me, I can't go to bed until I check every lock in the house.
Yeah.
So this thing is probably like, I have to do this, but you jerk, you've got me.
You'd think, a great gift for the Kappa would be like some saran wrap.
Yep, press and seal wrap. Mm-hmm.
And then you see all these Kappas doing backflips and cartwheels. They're like,
yay!
Like,
crap. The Kappa's wife gets him press and seal for Christmas. He's like, oh, honey, I love you. Best gift ever.
It's a Tupperware.
Yeah. Then start making Kappa Tupperware lids that just pop over the head.
Yeah, that's right. Make a Kappa hat. It's a Tupperware thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, we've talked a lot about the ancient legends and all this past folklore. What about the Kappa in modern day Japan? So today, the Kappa is as much a part of Japanese pop culture as it is of ancient legend. You'll find its image on everything from warning signs near rivers to cheerful mascots at festivals, and in some towns, statues of Kappa stand guard by the water, which is a playful reminder of the old stories. So, for example, I told you, I went to Gatlinburg several weeks ago. If you want to find something, anything, everything with a Bigfoot on it, with a Sasquatch on it, go to Gatlinburg.
Mm-hmm.
I have never in my life, everywhere you went, there is something that's got a dozen somethings. It's a Sasquatch.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm not talking about like hats and T-shirts and stickers. I'm talking about like bottle openers and welcome mats and underwear and, you know, dish rags. I mean, whatever. They got it all.
There's only one other place that I have found that has more Bigfoot junk than Gatlinburg, and that's Hochatown, Oklahoma.
Oh, really?
And yeah, apparently there's legends that there is a family living there in a family of Bigfoot living in Hochatown in the state park.
Oh yeah, the Jenkinses. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Carl and Susie. Carl and Susie Foot. They have so much Bigfoot stuff there. I'm in heaven. I mean, they've got
it's cool, but
they got a Squatch gas station. Like you go there and there's a giant Bigfoot, and it's like the Squatch stop or something, and it's a 30-foot tall Bigfoot sign.
So now that we've brought this up and we've gone down this road, I want to know, because I've never been to Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
Are there little markets and gas stations around Scotland that have all the Nessie crap? You know, like a Loch Ness. Here's a Loch Ness wax candle. Here's a Loch Ness Monster air freshener for your car.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I want to know, do they have that there, or is this kind of an American thing where we just beat something to the ground?
Yeah, it's probably an American thing. But Scotland's national animal is the unicorn, so maybe they got a bunch of unicorn stuff.
I bet they've got a lot of unicorn stuff. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
Mm-hmm.
That made me eat a crappy jelly bean.
It did.
Of that question.
Old Bandage, I think.
But even though the Kappa, trying to get back on track now, even though they're cute, okay, I guess they are kind of cute.
Well, in some depictions,
it's still a warning, and it's a way to keep children safe from the dangers of the deep water, and maybe a way for the adults to remember that mysteries like this still linger in the natural world.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there's all kinds. You know, like Adam said, you know, there's one particular river where some believe that's where all the Kappa come from. There's legends of when in times of hardship, like, you know, in a depression, when unwanted infants were abandoned by rivers.
Yeah.
And so the Kappa may have grown as a way to explain tragedy or to mask sorrow with myth.
Oh, true.
You know?
Yeah.
And, you know, it is a fascinating way to embrace this spirit, this cryptid, this creature, whatever. I mean, a lot of people look at it as yokai. I mean, which is the Japanese word for demon, but they don't really, you know, it's more or less like a ghost or a spirit, but this is an actual physical corporal being. But with a lot of characteristics that make it more like a yokai. You know, it's just, like we said, Japan, the folklore is so different than what we have here in the Western world. It makes it just a fascinating story. And, you know, a lot of these little fables, this folklore, you know, it feeds the modern culture, you know, that it's beyond a sense of, oh yeah, I remember those stories when I was a kid. You know, there's some amount of pride, you know, so you go to the little town, or you have a little festival, and there's people dressed up, you know, like a Kappa, or you see it on a flag, or there's like a paper mache one, you know, and everyone's like, oh, look, that's kind of neat. It's just like, you know, if you go to the Mothman Festival in West Virginia, I mean, you know, there's people dressing up, and there's people making, you know, all these decorations for the Mothman. It's very similar. So there's some pride. I mean, you know, you talk to somebody from Point Pleasant, and I've met several people that were from that area, and I mean, they love it.
Yeah.
I mean, like they love it.
Like the gas squatch in Hochatown.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, you know, I hope that you guys, you know, learn something about the Kappa. but just about Japanese folklore, because it is so different than Western legends and myths. Beyond just the Kappa, there are so many incredible stories, and I hope this kind of inspires you. If this is something that interests you, go look up some of these. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at what you'll find.
There's a friend of ours who has a podcast just on Japanese folklore and yokai stories and stuff. So check them out too if you want to keep going, because Matt and I will touch on it occasionally, but that podcast is dedicated to just yokai and stuff like that, and it is fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, tell us what you think. Is something like did you find this interesting? Have you ever heard of this before or seen a depiction of a Kappa? Let us know. And the best place to do that is in our Facebook group. It is called The Graveyard. Check it out. We've got thousands of members in there sharing all kinds of crazy stories, funny, jokes, everything under the sun. And it's a really cool place. No one's going to make fun of you. We all just want to hear, these really great stories. Don't forget to check out our website, which is graveyardpodcast.com. There you can find links to purchase Graveyard Tales merchandise. You can listen to the show, and that is where you can become a patron. And please go check it out. I guarantee you're going to find something that you'll enjoy.
Yep.
So until next time, we'll save you a seat in the graveyard.
See you soon.